Okay, here we are at the bottom of page 2, so 3.3, page 2b. And this one definitely looks like a story problem. So let's apply our technique for that. And that is to read it, take a deep breath, read it again, identify the goal, what they're asking us to do, and then look at what formulas we might need to bring, what knowledge or formulas we bring to the problem, set up something that makes sense, and then solve and check. Okay. First read. Circumference of a circle is 16 pi inches. Find the circle's radius and diameter. Deep breath. Remind yourself, I can do this. I'm just going to take it one step at a time. First step, read it again. Circumference of a circle is 16 pi inches. Find the circle's radius and diameter. Okay, so I want to identify what are they asking me to do? What's the goal? Find the circle's radius and diameter. So I want to know what the radius equals. This will be r. And I want to know what the diameter equals. This will be d. And the relationship I know between the two, this is some knowledge that I'm bringing to the problem, is that diameter is equal to 2 times the radius. 2 radius, or 2r. So I'll use that. So I can either find r and double it to get diameter, or I could find diameter and cut it in half to get me my answer of radius. Now let's look at what they've given to us in the problem. They describe a circle, so it might be helpful to draw what they're describing for us. It's a circle whose circumference is 16 pi. So we do not know the radius or the diameter. Okay, that's what we're trying to find. But we've been given the fact that the circumference is 16 pi inches. So we can translate that to an equation. Circumference is 16 pi. And then what we're going to bring is our knowledge that we can replace that c for circumference with one of the formulas we know. I can either replace that with 2 pi r, or I can replace that with pi times diameter. I'm going to go ahead and choose the pi times diameter for this one. Doesn't have to be that way. And then my goal here, I need to solve for d and r, so let's go ahead and solve for d, because that's what I chose to set it up as. I'll do that by undoing what's happening to d. It's being multiplied by pi. And so I divide both sides by pi. The pi's are going to cancel. That's the whole point of dividing them, to get d by itself. And I'm left with d is equal to 16. So I have my first answer, 16 inches, because they told us that this is inches here. And from there, I can get my radius. My radius is half the diameter. So in this case, it's going to be 16 over 2. So my radius is going to be 8. So that's an example of where they'll give you some information and you work backwards using one of the formulas that you're working to memorize. Now I'll turn you loose on this try problem. Read it carefully, and then a couple things I want to give you to be able to accomplish this. This picture is of a sphere, like a beach ball type item. It's round and it's 3-dimensional. And then the formulas for this are on the next page of the notes. So see page 3 of these notes for the formula. And then try this problem. Now I'm challenging you a little bit. We haven't done any volume yet, but I want you to see what you can accomplish based on the formula and the information given. What piece do they give you? What do you need to plug into the formula to be able to find volume? And then of course notice that they do want you to give 2 versions of the answer in terms of pi, and then using your calculator, multiply by pi and round to the nearest whole number. Go ahead and pause. Come back when you're ready to check your answer. Okay, so the volume of this sphere should be equal to 2,304 times pi inches cubed. Cubed because we're dealing with volume. Once you use your calculator, you would approximate that to the whole number after multiplying by pi, and you'd get 7,238 inches cubed. And again, the cubed because it's volume. Meaning instead of seeing how many flat 1 foot by 1 or 1 inch by 1 inch squares can fit in here because it's three-dimensional. We're seeing how many 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cubes volume is equal to how many of those 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch cubes would fit inside. So volume is a filling of something. Okay. All right, we will see you on page 3.